Hi everyone and welcome to another video, and today we are going to talk about what's true freedom. Now if I have to say what is true freedom, can you sum up it in one word? Yes, honestly it can be summed up in one word. True freedom is actually when the external environment don't play any role in your decision making. You don't need any validation from others. Now let that sink in for a while. When someone achieves something, do you feel that you are not at the goal yet, or you feel like, oh my god, this person have achieved so many things compared to him or her, I have achieved nothing? You feel really belittled and you feel like you're not getting happier because that person have achieved something which you haven't, and that person have made their goals and you're still stuck in some place or the other. When you have the true freedom, you don't feel rushed by others people's success. You don't feel that you have still so many things that you have to improve or move on in your life, or you have to get it right by this time. The timing doesn't affect you even by a millisecond. You don't care what others are thinking of you. You don't feel the need that, oh my god, that I also have to be there at this certain moment. You don't feel that thing anymore. You know that everything is moving at its own pace and you're happy with that pacing. You move at your own pace and you don't feel belittled because that's not who you are. Rather than achieving something, you actually enjoy the process of going through something. That is when you don't feel that others are trying to bring you down, or you are not at the place where you think you should be 10 years ago or 10 years back. You don't feel that anymore. Isn't that amusing? You have so much inner peace that as if the entire world just gets stopped around you. It's like as if all the noise from outside world has suddenly stopped. It's just silence. Nothing. No external environment playing any roles, no noise, no chaos, no nothing is ever telling you what to do, what not to do. It's like you just feel safe within your own body. You don't feel that you need to be in someone else's body, because what we currently always do is we are completely putting ourselves in someone else's body. Let's say that this guy wants me to be a doctor, and hence I'm going to play the role of becoming a doctor so that this person will be happy. Now, if it is that person's wish, that's not your wish, then how can you call yourself that you are complete freedom if your own choices are designed by some other people or someone in the external environment? Can you call that your own happiness? That's not it. You're just playing in the role of another person, and that person is telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and you feel safe by their own words because you're too afraid to be in your own body. When all the noise around you stops, you get a clear vision of what you actually want yourself. You don't think that I need this or that to make myself happy. You know that whatever you have desired has always been within you. You don't care what can become of me, what will others think of me. You don't think like that anymore. But maximum of our thought process and our decision making depends on what others might think and how the society might perceive this decision making if I were to act this way, for which we can never find happiness. Let me ask you something. Let's say you loved cooking and you always wanted to be a great chef, but your parents wanted you to be an engineer. So, you gave the engineering exam like your parents wanted, and you studied a lot, and maybe some of your peers passed the exam and they became great engineers, but you failed. Unfortunately, you call yourself a loser because your brain is programmed to think that your friends who have passed the engineering exam is actually successful, but you are not, because that is how your parents have perceived you from the very little and have programmed your brain to think like that. But remember one thing, a great chef doesn't necessarily have to be a great engineer as well. Maybe you are meant to be a Michelin star owned restaurant owner or a restaurant chef, but you have forsaken that dream of yours, and now what you're doing, is that you're completely seeking others' validation because you want your father and mother to be happy because they have taught you to be an engineer and you couldn't be an engineer, and that is why your entire world just crashed down and you're just like sulking in the unhappiness, and you're thinking that maybe because I didn't have any other option, that is why now I've become a chef. No, that is because you are literally getting sucked in your own version of way that your parents have programmed you to think, not because the way that you are thinking because you want to think like that. How can you call that a true freedom if you haven't programmed that thing inside of you from the very way you want it to be? Can you call that actually? Think for a moment. It is not, isn't it? So remember one thing. You shouldn't let others decide your fortune, your life. That depends completely on you. Hence, when you get like sad just because other people wanted you to be something or other people have achieved some success that you haven't yet, you might feel that maybe I'm a loser, maybe I don't deserve to be something that I have always wanted to be. But don't think like that. First of all, cut off all the noise. And by cutting off, I mean just forget whatever you see in social media, forget whatever others wanted you to be, forget what your parents wanted you to be, forget how much your friends have achieved or your peers have achieved, because that is completely bullshit. Some people achieve something, whereas some people sacrifice a lot as well to get to the point that they're not right now. What you're only seeing is the achievement, but you're not seeing their sacrifice behind that as well. Hence, you are also in the process of making. Always remember that you are in the process of making. You're not standing and doing nothing. You might feel that you are just stuck, but no, you're not. Know that you're also building something for the future, and that feeling is what is going to remove all the binding forces that is keeping you in an unhealthy environment where you need validation of others to think how you want to think in your life. The only thing that is messy right now is not the environment, not the world, but it is your own mindset. You need to first learn how to make your mindset listen to you, not others, because only then you will understand how you should behave and how you shouldn't behave to achieve something that only you want in your life. And hence, before I would like to conclude, I would like to add one more thing, that the only way to achieve freedom, complete freedom, there's only one way. You don't need lots and lots of ways. Just one thing, keep in mind. You will have to love yourself more than anyone. Because when you love yourself, you know what makes you happy. You're not going to do something that will make you sad and depressed. You will not want other people to come and take your steering wheel and drive the way they want you to be. No. You're going to kick them out and you're going to drive your own goddamn car. And that is how, my friend, can you only achieve success, because then nobody can ever make you sad. The only person who can make yourself sad is you. And if you love yourself, you're not going to do that. Hence, there you go. You achieve true freedom. Isn't it amazing? Hence, I would like to say that from today onwards, if you would like to try one thing, love yourself. And if you ever find yourself in a situation where you are like constantly feeling like overwhelmed and something, take a deep breath, cut off all the noise, and try to focus on yourself. That is the best way to go. Thank you very much, and everyone have a great day.